Dear participants, welcome in today's session, which is on role of public libraries as community hubs. And the invited speaker is Dr. Neja Singh. So, before handing over the session to Dr. Neja Singh, let me introduce her. Dr. Neja Singh currently working as librarian at TS Central State Library, Chandigarh. Her educational qualifications, Dr. Neja Singh is gold medalist in Masters of Library and Information Science and PhD from Punjab University, Chandigarh. She is standing committee member of International Federation of Library Associations and Institutions, Hague, Netherlands. Now, her experience. Out of her total career of 20 years, she has 18 years experience of public librarianship. Dr. Nisa is a mentor and innovator of INELI India and South Asia International Network. She is organizing a number of innovative programs in her library and outreach programs, different communities and all age groups. Actively involved in Swachh Bharat, Nasha Mukti Bharat Abhiyan, and other initiatives of Government of India. Dr. Neja Singh has made several strides in her academia, having published and presented a number of research papers and edited volumes. She has attended various national and international conferences, seminars, workshops, and delivered invited lectures and talk. So, on behalf of Ramanujan College, I welcome you, ma'am. Now,
Thank
you
you.
please start your session. Thank you.
Ma'am, my screen has stopped sharing and it says the host has disabled. Kindly allow me to share my screen again.
Okay, okay. Just give me a
Please
moment.
check, ma'am. Please now check, ma'am.
Please check.
Yes, now I can. Okay, so can you hear me?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you so much, Dr. Baby. I'm really thankful to Ramanujan College for having invited me for this session and to share with you my views on this topic today, which is role of public libraries as community hubs. So in this refresher course of yours, you might have touched upon various different topics regarding maybe IT aspects, the new artificial intelligence which is coming up, various other library processes that we do. But public libraries are supposed to be really, I feel, a special kind of library where we can serve the community as such. It is just not limited to the school students, like in a school library, college students or university students in their college or university libraries, but it plays a larger role. And I would say it plays kind of an umbrella role in which all types of communities, all age groups can be a part of. So a public library serves right from a small child up till a senior citizen. And so the responsibility on the shoulder is much, much more. Apart from the information resources that we have, maybe they are the physical resources like the books, journals, magazines, e-resources, various journals, e-magazines, e-newspapers. But that is an important part. But beyond that is the kind of space we are providing to the community, the type of safe space we are providing them. So a public library has to be a second or third space for its citizens. The first space definitely being your own homes. And the second space may be your institution, the office where you're working or place where you're studying. But which is the next place that the people should really want to go and they would feel that it is our own space? There lies the role of a public library. So it should be that comfortable space where everybody would want to come at their ease. Children coming along with their parents, with their grandparents, with their brothers, sisters, friends. So everybody is welcome in a public library, irrespective of caste, creed, religion, gender. It is open to all. So that is why I said the role of a public library all the more increases because we have a vast community to serve. So what do you expect when you enter a library? Number one, maybe the ambience, the warm hospitality. The staff of the library should be very cordial. It should be neat, clean, with a welcoming environment, comfortability, maybe for sitting or for proper air conditioning, clean water, and the environment which you get, the vibes which you get, because this is the place where nobody is going to judge you, nobody is watching you. You can do whatever you want to do. Pick up that book which interests you, talk to someone on a topic that interests you, maybe interact with like-minded people. So that kind of comfortable environment is what you expect when you enter a library, for that matter, any library. Here I'm being very specific to the public library. In India, we have been gearing up for the public library in the sense that act of a public library is being practiced in very few states. We still have a very few public libraries, what it should have been instead. So I'm very happy that the government has really taken it forward, and we have received grant for few crores of rupees this year for establishing public libraries, especially the rural public libraries. Because in India, we have a different demographic structure where we have a lot of rural citizens in our country. So there is the need that we start this service, and which will be very helpful for our nation. Whereas if you see internationally, they have very well developed public libraries, especially in the developed nations. And what is the first place that any visitor or tourist would want to go? They look for the public library, because that is the place where they are going to get the first-hand information, all kind of tourist information, the visa information, some kind of handout or passes to visit various places. So those kind of centers have been established in the public libraries over there. Recently, last week, I was in Argentina and I was attending the IFLA's Metropolitan Library Conference. And over there also, although Argentina is a developing country, but still there were a lot of community libraries which I visited in its capital, that is Buenos Aires. And for every locality, like in one city, there were around 45 libraries, other community libraries where the community of those areas can use those libraries. And this thing is lacking in India because we have around 45,000 libraries in India only. Whereas we need lakhs of libraries here to serve the kind of demographics and the population that we have. So we still need to go a long way. A lot of public libraries are still doing a commendable job, getting in touch with the community, working for the community in whatever way possible. So whom are public libraries for? So as I already discussed with you, from a small child up to a senior citizen, maybe for a housewife, college-going students, businessmen, professionals. So that kind of environment and collection has to be done in a public library. By collection, I mean the information resources which are useful for all these kind of communities. So we have small school children coming in, college students coming in, these kind of libraries, and housewives which are accompanying their children or they want to be on their own. So for housewives, the public library is kind of a second space because first space is their home and they have no other institution or an office to be attached to. So the public library is supposed to be their second home, and we should provide all the kind of services that we can for these people. And the next most important community that we need to serve or we are serving are the senior citizens. Because they are that lot who are not very well equipped with the technology. Most of them are retired citizens, and also a lot of them are standalone or they are living all alone without their children along with them. Children may have been settled abroad or in other cities of India. So those are the kind of community or people we have to serve with a personal touch, or rather we have to be very close to them to make them feel that this is your own home. So what are the basic public services that we do in a public library? One, very basic, the circulation services. That means issue return of books, the reservation of books, which is, you can say, the prima or the main purpose around which the libraries revolve. Next is the reference service. If anybody has any query or wants to know about any particular information, so the first-hand information is being provided by the libraries or the public libraries specifically. The reading room service, which is also a very important service, and this service is being used widely by the students, not just in India, but worldwide. Throughout the libraries that I've visited in various countries, maybe it is Singapore, in Australia, in England, in Norway, in the US, or maybe the Argentina. So students maximum their usage of the library is using the reading room for studying, maybe for some competitive exams or their own college or school examination. So this is a very important service which the public libraries are providing. Because in this space, you get a kind of an environment in which you study. All the children can, if they have their own books, because in the reading room, basically you get your own books to study. At home, you do not get that environment, whereas in a library, when you're studying with your peer, when you're studying with other students, you get the kind of environment and you have that sense of that or that motivation to study. Then, of course, IT-based services, which is very important, and the need of the day where things have to be automated, e-books, e-magazine, e-journals have to be provided. Now, with the advent of artificial intelligence, a lot of IT-based services are also included. Now, these kind of IT-based services are very, very prominent in abroad. Like the kind of technology they've been using, especially in Singapore libraries that I visited. Now, their shelving is being done by robots at night. So I visited this mall in Singapore where the public library was located inside the mall. And at night, when the library is closed, the robots used to do the shelving, like pick up books which have been wrongly shelved and putting it in the right place. And they have also a very well mechanized system of returning the books. In the sense, when the books are returned, they are passed into a, you can say, a kind of an escalator that we use in malls, but these are flat kind of escalators. I'm just using these terms to explain you better. So the books move on these escalators and they drop down according to the classification. For example, according to DDC, I'm mentioning the classification of 100, 200, 300, 400. So buckets have been made. So the 100, the ones who carrying 100 classification number will drop into the 100 bucket, the 500 ones in 500, the 800 ones in 800, the 900 ones in 900. This is the main class that I'm mentioning. So they already get sorted according to that. So it is so easy for them to shelve the books because they have already been discriminated according to their class numbers. And similarly, if a book has to be transferred to a branch library, which has been returned in this branch, but it belongs to another branch. So similarly, that book will go to the branch library bucket. So that kind of mechanism has been introduced in the libraries over there. Another very interesting thing that I have seen there is the reservation of books. So when you enter the library, there's a big cabinet, and in those cabinets, the reserved books have been kept. For example, if I have reserved a book which is not available at that point of time in the library, when the library receives that book, so they put them in the locker or the cabinet, and the message automatically is generated and sent to the one who has reserved that book. So the person who has reserved that book gets a message, and when he enters the library with his smart library card, okay, he puts on the locker. The locker starts beeping and it automatically opens and the person can take the book. And the issue return is being done automatically through the RFID. So those kind of mechanisms have to be done. It saves the time of the reader as well as the staff. So here in India, we are still on that. We are already following those lines, and I hope very soon we will be on those lines. So coming further, the community information service, which is also very important service, is whatever is going on in the world, whatever is the requirement of the day. For example, maybe financial literacy, digital literacy, or any new thing that has come, maybe at the time when GST came. So the public wants that kind of information. So public library should be the first place where they should be seeking that kind of information. So such kind of programs should also be done from time to time. Next comes the interlibrary. So no library is self-sufficient that it has all the resources. So interlibrary loan is also a very important service in which the library can borrow the resources from the partnering library or from the other library and make it available to your own use. Then translation and reprographic service is also very important, in which you give this kind of service of language to translate that and provide to the reader. And reprographic, especially in the reference books where it's not possible to photocopy, so you use this service. Although this service is not much being used, because with the advent of technology, translation has been done through softwares, reprography service, generally the students or the users click photographs of the books, whatever is required. So it is at you can say a lower usage as such. Indexing and abstracting of important subject-wise information that is required by the user. SDI and CAS, that is selected dissemination of information, and the current awareness service is also a very important service among the public library. So these are the kind of a regular service. So what public libraries have to do beyond these regular services, or for that matter, all the libraries follow these kind of services, is the extensions. So now I will be coming on to the extensions. So what is the library extension service? Basically, it is an effort to increase the number of users so that maximum people or maximum users use the library. And it is an attempt to turn the library into a social center or a community hub where we have all kind of citizens using it, and we encourage reading at the same time. And the primary aim is to convert the non-readers into readers. So those who have been not using the library, we want them to use the library. From non-users, we want them to be users. So we have to do that extra effort or an extra extension service, you can say, apart from the regular jobs that we do in the library. Because public library is one place where a small child also comes, and a small child, you can develop the habit of reading. You can inculcate reading habits as well as library culture among children, and that will take him a long way. So these kind of efforts for motivating the parents so that the children can use the library, motivating the students on the various interests that they want to do. So these kind of extension services I will be talking about in detail. So I'm working at the Central State Library, Chandigarh, and we are providing all such extension services apart from the main core library services that I already mentioned. Few points. We are doing all that. We are automated, RFID enabled, and all sorts of IT-based services. Also, we are providing free Wi-Fi is there, computer-based services for students to be able to give their competitive exams. For those who don't have laptops, they can use the computers in the library or Wi-Fi. We have given them a username and password. They can use it either on their phones or their laptops, etc. I will be talking about in detail, giving examples about our library, what are we doing for various age groups and different parts of the community. And mind it, you can use these ideas, these services to provide services to your users in your life. So being innovative is very important because nothing is impossible. You just have to search ways and means. How will you do that? So this is a picture of my library, the TS Central State Library, which is located in Chandigarh, in the heart of the city, that is Sector 17, which is a marketplace. So ideal place for a public library is to be in place which is most used by the community. For example, this is in the main marketplace. So anybody who is coming to the market to do shopping or bring family along has this option to come to the library. So it should be very convenient place to be. So this library is in the heart of the city. This has been designed by a French architect, Le Corbusier, the person who has designed the Chandigarh city. So Chandigarh is a not very old city. So Chandigarh came up in the year 1955, and the library also came about the same time. So we have about, the books collection is about 3 lakhs in English, Hindi, Punjabi, and Urdu language. And we have the circulation service, which are 2 books for a period of 14 days, but we are providing very special service for the senior citizens who are issued 6 books for a period of 30 days. Because it is not possible for senior citizens to commute very often. So they can keep books, they can reserve books, and we are also providing home delivery of books to the senior citizens who cannot come to the library or the ones who are physically handicapped and disabled. So those kind of services are also being provided here. And as I already told you, we have free Wi-Fi, computers, we are using Lipsys software, RFID, and a kind of congenial environment with the ACs, RO cooled water is being provided. But here also we have to do that extra effort, and I'm going to tell you about the kind of extension services that we are providing. So extension services are of 2 kinds. You can say internal extension service and external extension service. So the external service, the extension service that provide within the library premises are known as the internal extension service. So we will go by one by one. So we start with the children, because as I told you, children, we can catch them young towards reading and library culture. So we really need to work on them. So what our library is doing and what in general the library should do will come through this. So a safe space has to be provided for children because it is very, very important for them. So these, as in these pictures, you can see happy faces has all kind of materials, not just books, but toys, games, and other attractive furniture, attractive space is being provided to children so that they would want to come to the library. It should be very inviting for them. So this is the children's section of the library, which is providing safe space. Next picture depicts that how friendly the environment should be with the parents and the children coming together in the same space. So here the children are playing, the father is reading his own book, and he is so relaxed. So children workshops we are organizing, and it would be organized. The workshop may be related to art and craft, theater, personality development, drawing, dance, drama, yoga. The list goes endless. We are even organizing poetry writing workshops for children. So these are all free kind of workshops that are provided to children. And in this, the children get a chance to interact not just with their own neighborhood children or their own classmates, but with children of other schools. And it brings a sense of confidence in them, which is very important for the growth of the children. And there's another advantage that in schools, maybe the teacher select only the best one to participate. Maybe if there's a specific workshop going on, or maybe in the competitions that we organize. But the library gives a platform to all children to participate. So this is a wall in our children library, and the mural that you are seeing at the back, that colored mural of figures, is being created by the children. This has been created by the children in one of the workshops that we conducted. So in this, we had called a resource person from the College of Art, and the person conducted the workshop, but all the children were involved in this workshop, and it brings them a sense of belonging when they come to the library. They see this wall which is made by them, and it brings a sense of ownness that this place belongs to. So we have this bookmaking workshop that we organize from time to time. In this, children create their own books, their own story. They write themselves, they make pictures, and we have a special corner, as you can see on the left side, where these kind of books are displayed. So this also brings a sense of ownership among children that our made books have been displayed in the library, and other children come and read them. So it makes them so happy that the books created by us are being read by us. They've been kept in the library. So it brings so much happiness on their faces. And at the same time, parents are so motivated to send their children to the library, with all such events happening in the library. So this is another workshop that we conducted. It was the Meli Gubai Visual Arts Program, and this was done in partnership with the Bookworm Library in Go. Basically, the theme of this activity was the environment, making the children sensitive to the environment. And in this regard, a openable book was created, and as you can see in the picture on the right. So a tree book was created, and each child who participated in this workshop created their own book. And in the left side, as you see, they were taken out in the environment to see, to observe what happens. Otherwise, in our daily lives, sometimes we miss on the small things happening around us, on how are the various, maybe even the insects or the birds, they are reacting, observe them closely, and to make the children sensitized about how these things are so important in our environment. So this had been done in partnership with Bookworm Go, as I told you. So a lot of activities we do in partnership, because a library is not self-sufficient to do all the activities. We need to invite resource persons. we need to partner with other institutions, other organizations, government body to carry on all such programs. In the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, I don't know if you're aware or not, but the United Nations has these 17 goals which have to be achieved by the year 2030. So that also lists a lot of goals, and the last goal in that is partnership, which is very important. At the end, towards the end of my presentation, I will also share with you all those goals which we also feel the library should achieve through its activities. So coming to this next picture, we also do a lot of theater workshops on various themes in which the children learn, participate, and they also perform. So the parents are invited to view these plays, and we also invite some VIP, some important person in the government to see what the libraries are doing. So this all is also part of the advocacy that we are doing. We are proving that libraries can do all such things. It is so important for the society, and we really need to go. And to go on, what is the requirement? We need funds. We need a lot of permission. So if we showcase the kind of work that we are doing, or the kind of success that we are getting by doing all such things, so those kind of things are easily supported. Then the storytelling sessions, which is also a very, very regular activity that we are doing. And from time to time, we organize these kind of sessions, and children love these sessions in which they have some storyteller to tell stories, and the children are also involved. So these storytellings are just not one way, they are two way in which children also participate. So we call them a kind of session in which we have a pre-storytelling session in which some kind of activity is given to children, then the main session, and then a post session in which whatever they have learned is discussed. The book is discussed, the author, the kind of literature he writes, the kind of stories he writes is discussed with them. So then we also have these personality development workshops in which the children get a platform so that they feel confident how to behave in the society. Because these days, when the children are so hooked into gadgets or their computers, laptops, and with the advent of Corona, this has been even worse, that they don't have time to interact with other children. Like earlier, I remember in our days, when the school was over, we used to rush to the parks and grounds to play with our neighbors. But now what is there with children? They want their parents' mobile as soon as they return home, or they switch on to the television. And so these kind of, I would say, social skills are lacking in the children. They feel very inconfident in talking to others. So these kind of confidence building workshops also we organize very regularly. So when are we organizing these workshops? On weekends and during the vacation. Like in northern part of India, we have vacations in March when the final exams are over. Then in the summer vacations, maybe a short break during Diwali and the winter vacations that we have. So we organize one day maybe workshops on the weekends, most Saturdays, and long workshops, maybe 10, 15 days workshops during the vacations, in which a wholesome package is provided to children where they can learn the different types of skills, and they know what skill they are interested in, and so that they can build upon that skill. Maybe some child is interested in art, some in craft, some in dance, some in theater. So we give a kind of a glimpse of all such things, and the child can further develop on the basis of the interest. So science experiment workshops is also the one that we do in which child actually gets to hands-on experience on the experiment. And poster making workshops are also very fun, in which some poster making is carried out on different themes on important days. Themes may be drug abuse, or child education, or freedom, or how to save our planet, environment based. So all these themes, and the child has an opportunity to discuss and see what the other children are, what other children from different schools are. Then competitions are very regular with us. We do it on important days like Gandhi Jayanti, Republic Day, Independence Day, or we also do it during the National Library Week, which is from 14th November to 20th November in our country, 14th being the Children's Day. So that whole week is the National Library Day, and we are organizing a lot of competitions during that week for children, and on and off on important days as well. Orientation and library visits, which are so important. Now, so many citizens living in your own city might not know what is being provided by the library, what services are being provided by the library, unless we don't tell them. So that is the purpose of the orientation or library visits. So we invite school children, we write to schools, and we fix appointments, and we invite those children to the library, and we tell them about the kind of sources that we have and the kind of services that we have. We give them handouts of the library so that they go back home, show it to their parents, and they can come back and become members of the library and use the library with their family members. Apart from these things, we also have the regular dental checkup camps. So these camps are also organized in partnership. Maybe we partner with a hospital, clinic, or some other doctors who want to do. So when you are working in such an environment and you do all such activities, many people would want to join. So now is a time that we have so many people who want to join. I will go back 20 years back when I started all these services in the library, when I joined this library, and we started with the children's workshop. I still remember the first time when I did, we literally had to call people, our members, that such and such workshop is happening. Please send your children. We promise you that will be a good workshop. Please try and send them. We are sure you'll. So literally we had to plead and we had to request the parents to send the children. But since then, there was no looking back. And at that point of time, I had invited my own friends to take the workshops. Like a few of my friends were art teachers, they were doctors, they were maybe used to write good poetry, artists. So I invited my friend circle. So they conducted that first workshop, first workshops that we did. But after that, there was no looking back. Every time we had to limit the amount of registrations on first come, first serve basis. And we had loads and loads of children coming to the library to participate in the workshop. And there was no dearth of the resource persons as well. So everybody would want to associate themselves with the library. Then we also celebrate important festivals, Diwali, Dussehra, Christmas, Republic Day, and we keep some activity or the other around that festival of the important day. So this is one of the important days that we celebrate, the Environment Day, to sensitize children on how important our environment is and how can we save our environment. Book displays are a very important thing that we do regularly. Not just book display on important occasions, like maybe important days, festivals, but even the birthdays of authors and other important days. And we also organize impromptu quiz on that occasion. So what is an impromptu quiz? You did not have quiz teams and all to participate. Maybe you can take a bowl, make a few questions, write them on the paper, fold them and put it in that bowl. Whoever walks in, the user walks in to the library, can pick up one question and answer to it. You can maybe keep a prize or not, or maybe just click a picture, put the prize winner's photo on Facebook, or maybe you can award them with a small toffee or a pencil. So that kind of activity we keep doing. So with this activity, people are always excited when they come to the library. Like, what is the display today? What next? What are we having today? So these displays are an attractive part of the library activities. Now, this was for the children. As I told you, I'm going to tell you about different communities, how are we serving all the communities and making a community hub for them. So now we come to the youth or the adults, that what we are doing mainly for them. So for them also, like college students and university students who are grown up, we organize competitions on various themes. Maybe it's the National Library Week celebration or the importance of libraries. And since these students are making such beautiful posters, even the school children and these college students, so we have a lot of material in our library to display on all important occasions. So this also builds a kind of a resource for us. And we also celebrate important days, Environment Day, in which actually the plantations are being done, Yoga Day, motivational talks for the students who are preparing for competitive exams. It's very important because there are hundreds of students who are studying in the library every day. Some might face success, some might face the failure. So it is very important to keep them motivated to study. So for this purpose, we invite various motivational speakers or maybe IAS officers who themselves have cleared those exams or bank POs. So they interact with the children and the children are motivated and they get the right direction in what to do. Health talks, blood and organ donation camps. Also, we do very regularly, in which we invite doctors from hospitals to talk about various important topics, and we motivate people to donate blood, pledge their organs like eyes and other organs as well. And all such things are being regularly done with the community. Cultural programs, since library is a community hub, it is a cultural. So all such programs are being done. Maybe if it is a Kavi Darbar or a cultural program of music, theater, dance, drama. So all these things are part of public library activities. And it brings people closer together. The like-minded or the like-interested people, they come together and then they regularly meet, because we have such programs going on regularly in the library, because once somebody comes and attends, he would or she would want to come again and again, because they have a circle, friend circle in the library. And those kind of groups have also come up. Open mic to give a platform to our users or anyone in the community to speak out whatever is there in their mind, whatever they want to share with the community. Because here nobody is going to judge them. We are providing a platform to everyone. Then we also organize plays regularly on various social issues and on issues related to libraries, the importance of libraries and reading. So this particular play which you are seeing in this picture is on the AIDS awareness. And we did this in partnership or in association with State AIDS Control Society of Chandigarh. And this was to sensitize people about the AIDS through this play. So this was done outside the library so that the others in the community or who were walking here and there in the marketplace also came to watch this and know the facts. Then session for parents as well on how to grow your kids well for the better parenting. So these kind of workshops are also there. Then telemedicine session. So if in person the doctor is not coming, so we arrange a telemedicine in which there's a live broadcast with the doctor and you can actually communicate with the doctor. So this in this particular picture, this session was done with the Indian, in association with the Indian Public Library Movement and Vedanta Hospital in the Gurgaon. So we had these monthly, every month we used to have this session with one doctor or the other. Then this is an awareness program on GST. When GST came up, everybody was so confused. What is this? How to go about it? So we had this session in the library and we invited a person from the tax department, and this session was conducted for the community. So this was the kind of community information service I mentioned in my previous slide of library services. These kind of services are very, very important. To motivate our readers for creating more, we do such annual prize distribution function every year, in which the prize winners, that the competitions that we organize throughout the year for school and college students, they are awarded. And apart from that, special category of prizes is also there, like the best young reader, best child reader, best senior citizen reader, best women reader, and best family reader. So in best family reader, prize is given to the family as a whole, in which the grandparents, parents, and children are coming to the library together. Not just together, I mean to say all the three generations are members of the library and they're actively using the library. So more number of books are issued by this family reading. So they feel really motivated and they use the library more. Because we as librarians, our responsibility is just not to provide the service, but to motivate people to use those services. What is the use of the service and the money that we have spent in the library if we have no users? So creating users is the most important. Now from the youth, we come to the students, we come to the women. So for women also, we are doing a lot of extension services. We are doing workshops for them. Maybe it is an art and craft workshop. Or cookery workshop. It depends upon the interest of the women, what they are interested in. And as and on we get requests from them that we want this kind of workshop, we definitely conduct this workshop. And not just this, we involve the members of our library to conduct workshops, especially the grandmother. Like we have done sessions in which the grandmothers themselves teach the children on how to do crochet, how to do knitting. So it gives them a sense of pride that we know something and we can do something for the children. Because grandparents that way who are living alone also feel lonely. So this coexistence of in the same space of the library is really very important and really, really positive in the direction. So Mother's Day, we started this event in the year 2017. This is a picture of the first event that we did. And this was such a popular event that we have been doing this year after year. I still remember the first time when we did that, the mothers literally cried that they have never ever received this opportunity to be on the stage. Like earlier, they were in their parents' house. Now they are busy with their husbands, their in-laws, their kids. That they have never got that recognition which they deserve. They have the talent, but they had nowhere to show that talent. So this was the place they felt so thankful for that we had provided. Now we do this activity every year. Then honoring events for women. So all our women members who have achieved something or the other in their lives are also honored at some or the other occasions. And in these occasions also we call some VIP, maybe the education secretary or director higher education, or the advisor has also been to a library at times, for them to know the importance of libraries and for the prize winners also to get that sense of some achievement, the VIP. Then yoga classes are also conducted for women from time to time, keeping in mind their health point of view. So after the women, I come over to the senior citizens. So for senior citizens, we have this reserved, comfortable spaces for them so that they are not felt left out. They know they have their own space in the library and that they are always welcome in the library. A comfortable seating space, a separate comfortable reserved seating space has been provided for the senior citizens. And apart from that, we have a special large print book section for them, in which books are there, but the print is larger. So many foreign publications are publishers are already publishing these large print books, which is very convenient for the senior citizens to read. We also organize digital literacy programs for senior citizens. And in this program, we teach them how to use computers, how to use smartphones. So this particular program was started by us in association with HelpAge India. HelpAge India is an NGO for the senior citizens to take care of the senior citizens. So officials from HelpAge India visit our library and they organize such kind of workshop here. And we've been doing this workshop in the children section of the library on the working day. Because during these days, the working days, the children library is comparatively free because children go to school at this time and the space and the computers available in the children library are free. So this is optimally utilized for the use of senior citizens during this time. Library at your doorstep. As I mentioned earlier, we provide this service of free delivery of books to the senior citizens at their home. Since we have an OPAC, that is online public access catalog, the ones who are digitally literate, they can search on the computer and they can let us know which book they want. Otherwise, they call us and they let us know their preferences, the kind of books they want, and we suggest them and the books are sent at their houses and similarly they are collected back from their houses. Now for the authors and poets of our region, of our city. Poets and authors, they really need a platform. They put in so much effort to write their book or their piece of work, literary work, that they want such kind of a platform. So the library has been providing this platform to them. Every Saturday, we have some or the other literary program in which a literary organization is actively involved, and we are doing this maybe a standalone event or in partnership with any literary organization. And we also do book release events for the authors. We give them this stage, we give them this platform. We have a lovely auditorium which is given free of charge for such programs to these authors. And they really look forward to conduct activities. And this is the place in which they can directly interact with our readers. So we have these face-to-face programs with the authors in which the authors talk about their book and they interact with the students, with the children, or with the other community who are interested in such kind of writings. And they get first-hand information about the author, they pose questions to the author, and this gives them a motivation to write as well. So the non-writers turn into writers and they get ideas on how to go about publishing a book, writing a book. We have a special section in our library, which is the Chandigarh authors section, in which the books written by the Chandigarh authors are kept there. So this gives them a motivation, a sense of pride, a sense of belonging that our books have been kept here in the library. So Hindi Day celebrations are also done every year with various authors. Now coming to the differently abled, which are also very important for society, and they need a sense, kind of a personal service for them. So for this, the library has braille books. We have the software, JAWS software. We have Read Advanced equipment, mouse magnifier, LED screen monitors, in which small font is converted into bigger font with the mouse magnifier for those who are partially blind. And with Read It Band and JAWS software, we turn the text form of the book into audio files. So that is very useful for the readers. And we have few readers who come regularly for Braille books and for using the other facilities and equipment for the book. Nobody is left behind and none are the transgender community. So the library has been organizing awareness programs for the transgender to feel them comfortable and welcome in the library, because they are also a part of our society. They are our people. So for this, we do these kind of programs to sensitize people on what are these transgender community, what are they suffering, to let them know they are not completely different from you. They are a part of your community who have been a little, you can say, misfortunate with what they. So a kind of acceptance need to be done. So this is important for the community as well as for the staff of the library to be acceptable to such community so that they can use the library services with ease. They do not hesitate to come to the library. So we have been doing these programs with them regularly. Now from the internal extension service, we come to the external extension service. Like I told you, internal extension service was inside the library, and external extension is what go outside the library, go beyond the four walls of the library and provide library services outside the library. So what all are we doing? Is we are providing outreach to the visually challenged. So we go to the blind institutes, we organize some event over there, we discuss some important topic with them, talk with them, which is otherwise not possible to get the entire blind school students to the library premises. So we go there, we make awareness programs for them over there so that they can come back to the library and use our services, what we have providing for them. Then women destitute homes for the Nari Niketans are being regularly visited for these unfortunate women who have been suffering and who have been staying here. So we go there, we do reading sessions there. We have also set up a small library collection over there for them to use so that their minds are awake. They get into reading because already they have suffered so much. So this should be a channel. Reading books should be a channel. We interact with them and they feel happy about it. Juvenile homes. So juvenile homes are the homes in which the children who are under 18 have committed crime and they are kept here. So we have also been visiting these juvenile homes. We've been creating reading activities there, workshops over there, storytelling sessions over there for these type of children. So we also have a few success stories from these visits. And one of the child came to the library after the visit and he said, I want to be a member of this library. And he became a member. He started using the library and he did his graduation. He was sent to the correction home. And now what I know last about him that he has moved to the UK. And so if these children are involved in various positive activities, a lot of positive change can be done in the society. So library changes lives of people. Then for the senior citizens, we go, although we are doing senior citizens programs in one, but it is not possible for many of them to come to us. So we go to the senior citizen home. We conduct sessions for them over there. Maybe it is a poetry session, a song session, a reading session in which the senior citizens participate. Because they feel lonely. mostly have been left by their children. And many of them do not know where their children are. And these people are literally in tears when we go to them. So with our small effort, we want to make them happy, interact with them. Reading program in government schools, although we get a lot of schools from private children through the orientation programs that we do for other workshops, but still the government school children are a little left behind. So we do programs in which we ourselves go and visit a few classes in the government school, and we do sessions with them over there. We also go to slum areas, motivate people to come and use the library, storytelling sessions in slums and villages, and maybe monasteries also we've been doing, in which we want children to connect to reading books, be interested in books, not just books of their schools, what they've been going to, but extra reading, which will wider the horizon of their thinking, and they will go somewhere and do something in it. And these children really feel motivated. So for advocacy and marketing program, we've been doing these walkathons. This particular picture which you see is a walkathon which we did at Sukhna Lake, which is a very important tourist place in Chandigarh. And the library staff and readers walk with these placards, displaying library services and library holdings to let people know that what we are providing and that we are existing. Because at times we feel very surprised. People who have been living in Chandigarh don't know about this library. So these marketing programs are also very important, and we do them in one form or the other. Now, this was the walkathon. Then we also do stalls at book fairs and carnivals in which a lot of people come, and we organize workshops over there for small children. And we talk to people about the importance of libraries, about the library services. And we get many new enrollments of membership during these fairs. And secondly, important persons, the VIPs come to inaugurate, and they know the presence of library here as well, which is very important for library. We also do plays on various social themes, like the few previous slides I showed you one we did in the library at AIDS awareness program, but we also do a lot of plays outside the library, and we partner with the various theater and drama teams, and we do it outside the library. Maybe it's on social themes or on the importance of reading and library to sensitize people to it. And we are also supporting government initiatives, which is very important for any library, I would say. Whatever government initiative has been come up, please do participate and show your presence, your work, your importance as libraries as well as librarians. Maybe it is Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, Beti Bachao, or the child education, or the anti-drugs, whatever is it. Even if you don't want to do an outreach, do a book display, organize some program or the other for the awareness of your own students who are studying in your academic libraries. Maybe. Then we have also participated in the official Public Day Parade of Chandigarh administration, and I think we are the first and the only library to have ever done this, in which the float was prepared about the library, and the staff paraded in this procession with the placards about reading, about books, about libraries. So this was much appreciated by the Chandigarh administration. Then we also did activities during Corona time, when suddenly everything fell apart. Libraries were shut down. We didn't know what to do at that point. So being innovative is very, very important. And if you think, how can we reach our community? What way should we reach our community? Since the library already had a Facebook page and we had WhatsApp groups of our members, so through the social media, we interacted with our members. So the first thing what we did was the family poster making competition on the theme, life during lockdown, in which the whole family together was supposed to make this poster. So this was the time when the family was at home together, many of them frustrated, maybe emotionally, mentally, maybe financially. So what could they do sitting together? So we received a lot of entries in which the family, complete family prepared that poster, and we announced the results as well on the Facebook, and we put the posters also that they made on the Facebook. Like here you see whatever posters they made. So we put them on our Facebook page. Then we also did this book fee contest in which people were supposed to send their selfie along with the book that they were reading at home during that Corona time. And prizes were also awarded. And this particular one, the maximum likes were to be awarded. So our Facebook page also received a lot of boost during time where people were sharing the post, and we were receiving a lot of likes and new subscription on our Facebook page. The poetry recitation competition is one of the things that we did, in which there was birthday of Rabindranath Tagore ji, and the people were supposed to send a video reciting his poems. So all the poems that we received, the recitations that we received, the videos were put on the Facebook page. Then storytelling through the app was also discovered. And in this app, there was a live kind of storytelling with the reader in which the child could also participate, send stars, send likes, and we could turn the pages of storybook. So it was much kind of as we were sitting live with the children. So this is another unique thing that we started during Corona times, because we just thought, what could we do? So in this program, we partnered with two other public libraries of India, one in Kerala and one in Tamil Nadu. And this theme was around festivals of India, because this was the festival time in India, the end of October, where all sorts of festivals come up, and the children shared how they celebrated that festival in their area. Because there are many festivals in India which exist by different names in different regions and how they celebrate. This was also a very interesting session, and it went live on our Facebook page. And here, as the chief guest, we invited the wife of the advisor of Chandigarh administration. Sustainable development goals. So these were all the kind of internal, external extensions and library services. And I also talked to you about partnering in government initiatives. But these sustainable development goals, which have been given by the United Nations, are also very important for the libraries to provide services, keeping in mind in these ways, so that we contribute to this. Because in every country, there are certain goals that these goals have to be followed, and a lot of activities evolve. So these goals, as I told you earlier, there are 17 goals, and the 17th goal is partnership. So partnerships are also should be promoted, and they are very important, as no library is self-sufficient, and we can partner with other associations, schools, colleges, universities, government departments, and do a lot of programs in our libraries. So these 17 goals are no poverty, zero hunger, good health, quality education, gender equality, clean water and sanitation, affordable and clean energy, decent work, economic growth, industry, innovation and infrastructure, reduced inequality, sustainable cities and communities, responsible consumption and production, climate action, life below water, life on land, peace, justice, and strong institutions. And the last one, as I told you, partnership. So we should all try that through the library activities, we are achieving some or the other goal, and align your activities with such goals. Because you are in a position, being in a library, to achieve all. Although you cannot do many of them directly, but in an indirect way, maybe through having some talks, or keeping book displays, or sensitization programs. So these goals can be achieved. So this gives kind of a summary of all the programs that we are doing in our library, and I've already discussed with you in detail. So to do all such things, it's not difficult. Like at point of time, we feel we are librarians. How can we do storytelling? How can we do a quiz? How can we do these kind of awareness programs? It's not our job, but I think we should never feel that, because librarians are at such position that we have that innovativeness. We have that foresightedness sitting in the, you can say, environment of knowledge all around us, that we can find some way or the other to do. Skills obviously are required. Many of the hard skills like how to use computer and the other hard skills of the typical library process that we do, like classification, cataloging, maybe IT service, use of the library software, or developing a repository, or using e-resources is one. But you should have the soft skills, which is much more. So I'm just quickly going to discuss this list of the soft skills that you should possess to become an ideal librarian or an ideal public librarian, where you have a varied community to deal with. So you should have those presentation skills. Punctuality is very important, and you set an example if you yourself are punctual, which will further encourage you to have proper time management, because time is the demand. Things should be done in time. Interpersonal skills, how to talk to people, the people who come to you. You know, I always say that you might not have solution to all the maybe questions or tasks that come up by your library users, but if you greet them with a smile, you be warm with them, half of your work is done. Because if you're so pleasing and talk to them, they feel that you are their own people. And you can further guide them into whatever you want. But I think this is the basic thing that you can do. Strong communication skills are very important, because you are dealing with the common people and the people who need your service are coming to you. So you should have very strong communication skills as well as very good customer service. You should always believe that customer is always right. You should always be patient with them. Always. And here lies the point of conflict management. Because in a library environment, there'll be a lot of conflicts among the staff and with the users, because the users might come up with various conflicts like, I returned the book, please don't take the late fine, or they start fighting over things, and there are a lot of problems you have to deal. But you always have to keep your cool, be patient. If you be patient, talk to them warmly, they will agree to. Mind it, I have experienced this many times. If you also be angry, then they want to be on top of you. Just keep your calm, talk to them politely, and they will understand. Active listening, listen to them. Listen to them. Active listening means actually listening to them. Getting in their shoes, feel with whatever they say is very, very important. And collaboration, like I've already told you here, that library is not sufficient. We have to do partnership. So talk to people, talk to other organizations, be friendly with them, so that many others want to collaborate with you, collaborate with activities, and this way you can do a lot of things with them. Because soft skills are not difficult to possess, but you can always improve your skills. So how to improve these skills? You develop a new skill. Always think that I have to develop this new skill, and don't be hesitant to develop that. Think of a skill that, okay, I have to learn how to use Facebook, for example, or Twitter, for that example. So every new skill that you possess will take you along. Then volunteering. Okay, keep volunteering for other things that you want to do. Just not be very particular about your own job. Like if you're in cataloging or classification, you are just with that. Volunteer for other things that you want. Then if you do not know anything, learn from your colleague or a senior. And you can also take an online course. You can attend conferences, you can workshop. This will broaden the horizon of your knowledge. And then always keep a desire to meet and serve libraries user community, which should be your top priority. Because you are meant to be there for the community, for your users. So always be warm for them. Always be welcoming for them. Because nothing is impossible. Where there is a will, there is a way. I always say that where there is a will, there is a way. Nothing is impossible. You can do whatever you want to. Even for a small thing like storytelling, we've been doing that for our children. Many of you might be having small children, or like me, my children have grown up. But I used to do storytelling for them when they were young. So why not for others? We can do it for others. And you can also improve your skills by there are almost various online courses. And you yourself are into reading, you can do such things. Social media is so easy to use, so user friendly. So once you are into it, you can do that. So in the end, I would just say nothing is impossible. Try to do whatever you want to do in one way or the other. Whatever examples that I have told you, you can apply those examples in your library, even if it's not a public library, an academic library, school, college, universities, or the other thing can be done with your innovative. So thank you so much for your patient listening. And I don't know how, but I would like to take questions as well if you have any. Since this is a one-way live.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Neeraj Singh, for very nice presentation. Even you have shown your activities you have conducted during COVID and other, very interested activities. And ma'am, this is actually the session live on YouTube right now, so
Yes.
we don't have questions. If someone will send us, so definitely we will forward to you.
Sure.
So once again, I thank you very much on behalf of organizing team and Ramanujan College. So you can leave now. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.